Hi guys, welcome to day 22 of the 30-day challenge. Today we're going to be changing it up a little bit. We've actually caught up to effectively where we're up to date. So actually, the previous days we've been catching up to, or we're doing historic data, but now we're actually doing day-by-day live data. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through a day at a time with your actual live bank feeds and bank data, and we're going to do them one day at a time, which is going to get us right up to date. So what we're going to do is today we're going to go through the 22nd of January, which is today's date, and we're going to input that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to show you how we're going to change the spreadsheets to reflect where we actually want to be. So we're going to show you how to adjust your margins, and then we're going to go over how to set targets and how to know exactly where you want to end up further down the line. So the first thing we're going to start with is we're going to do today's transactions. And for this generic kind of fake data, the only transaction we've got is one sale item. So sort of one sort of income invoice. So we've got 2,200 coming into the business. So what we've got to do is divide that down into the pot totals and then split those up accordingly like we have been doing previously. So what we're going to do is take 2,200, put that in there, and then we can see that the daily totals divide up, and we're going to copy and paste those into the totals as we have been doing previously. So your day always starts with this. Always make sure that you're dividing up and putting your money into the relevant pots. So let's make sure that's going. Put your right VAT money in. Here we go. And then keep doing this as we have been previously for every single category. Tiny bit in tax. And then we're going to add the wages and the expenses back onto the income sheet. Nice amount in wages going in. And then, oh, wrong sheet. The last one there, we've got the expenses. Get that in there. So that's all the income in. And actually step 2, we don't need to do today because we've got, or step 3, sorry, we've got no outgoing transactions. So we don't actually need to take anything out. So we can skip that and go straight on to step 4, which is adjusting your bank balances to reflect this amount. So do that. Again, I can't screen share that because I can't screen share me moving money about. But yeah, move your money around to reflect what it should look like. So separate out this key pieces of money for different purposes and make sure they reflect, or your bank accounts reflect that. And then finally, change the date to reflect the date of the last transaction that you did, which for us was the 22nd of January. And then that's that first step done. So we're getting really good at that now. We know that's nice and easy to do, and we know exactly how to do it. So we'll do that for now. And then what we're looking at here is adjusting our margins going forward. So these here, whilst you can see that the margins are creating a nice bit of healthy bank balance, what we want to do is just make your business more and more profitable as we go. So whilst your cash flow is good, can almost be improved as it is at the margins that you currently operate at. You can maintain those margins with good cash flow. Not only do we want to maintain them, we actually want to improve them as we go. So it's important that we know how to adjust these numbers and why to adjust these numbers. So ultimately, these numbers, when you're at the maximum efficiency and maximum profitability that a business your size can be, that's when the real money starts rolling in. So that's what you're aiming for. You're aiming to adjust these margins little by little to actually give you more and more money for you to keep for yourself. And that normally involves getting on top of expenses and not wasting them on needless things, being efficient with your wage budget, so making sure that projects don't overrun, you're not overstaffed on projects that you don't need to be, etc., etc. And by adjusting that, you're going to find yourself in a better and better position as you go. So those are the two kind of key things we focus on. And any money saved on expenses and any money saved on wages, these are going to be redistributed among these three pots here. So profit, owner's pay, and tax. So by saving money in one place and allocating it to other purposes for you to keep for yourself, that's going to be beneficial to you and your business. So that's how you kind of get more and more profitability. So rather than just trying to save money and cutting corners or whatever it ends up being to take home a small paycheck at the end of the day, what you've got now is a real efficient cash flow system. So when you're saving money on expenses, you actually know that money is being reallocated to another purpose, and you're not just kind of hoping it's going to be there at the end of the day. You've got that cash flow system to back it up. So where your expenses or your wages, you've actually made a saving, you know that they're being reallocated to somewhere where you're going to see that benefit. So that's kind of the reason why we do what we do. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make the first adjustment of the margins to give us the best possible start. So the easiest thing to do for us is to reduce your expenses margin by 1%. So rather than 34.13, we're going to change it to 33.13. And what I think is a good thing to do is just to add a check and balance to make sure that everything is being summed, everything adds up to 100%. So as you can see here that it doesn't, it's 99%. So what we're going to do is make sure, let's put this in a red box so we know that it's not part of it. Nice red box to show us that we don't include that. And what we're going to do is always make sure that total is 100%, obviously. So that 1% can be reallocated elsewhere. So when you take 1% off of your expenses, that means you've got 1% to allocate elsewhere, but it also means that the likelihood is that your tax and your VAT bill is going to have to increase, or will increase, sorry, because if you're spending less on expenses, that's going to make your VAT bill higher, and it's also going to make your profit higher. So we're going to have to adjust our taxes accordingly. So for a 1% adjustment, we can put 0.6% on wherever we want it. So either profit or owner's pay, or one of those two. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by putting 0.6% into your profit. Okay, so adjust that to 0.6%. Then what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to add 0.2% onto your VAT. So change that from 3.6 to 3.8. And we're also going to have to add 0.2% on for your taxes, because again, if you're making more profit by reducing your expenses, there's going to be an element that your tax is going to have to go up as well to cover that profit, cover the corporation tax bill that you're going to get at the end of the year. So those are the first adjustments we're going to make. So you can see here, there's actually now money going into that profit pot. Your tax is going up little by little, and that's exactly where we want to be. So that's how to make the first adjustment. I recommend you all do the same. Take 1% off your expenses, add 0.6% into your profit, and then 0.2 onto your two tax pots to make sure that your profit bill is covered and your VAT bill that is going to increase because you're reducing your expenses, but then that's also covered by the extra margin as well. So that's how your adjustments work. For every 1% you take off of expenses, you're going to have to put extra money away for your VAT and extra money away for your corporation tax at the same time. So that just helps you keep the checks and balances in place. But ultimately, what we're trying to do is reduce these two at the bottom and reallocate that to the pots that you get access to, which is these three here. So like I said, the theory behind that is by reducing your allocation percentage for the pots that you don't want to be too high, not only are you reducing them, but you're also reassigning them to somewhere where you know you're going to be able to access them. So it's not saving money for saving money's sake. It's saving money and then actually using a cash flow system like this to make sure that money's there for you at the end of the day, which is exactly what we want. Right, so that's it for today. We're going to be back on Monday with our final tool. Okay, we're going to show you how to implement these margins in your final tool, which is going to be a pricing calculator. So up front, you need to make sure your pricing is right. Your cash flow system is effectively there for you to manage the cash that comes into your business and allocate that so you don't waste it unnecessarily. But obviously, you need something up front to make sure the cash coming into your business is correct. So any money coming in needs to be coming in at the right amount. If it's coming in, say, for example, you're pricing up and your margin for your materials is 32%, and you're actually pricing up 50% as your materials budget for that project, obviously, no matter how good your cash flow system is, if you've priced up incorrectly, then the money coming in is always going to be far too difficult for you to stay on top of. So we're going to help you build out a pricing calculator that's going to help you price up your jobs effectively. And then we're going to continue with those adjustments and go over where exactly you want your company to end up. Okay, so thanks for tuning in today. We'll be back again on Monday. If you've got any questions in the meantime, just let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. But if not, we'll see you on Monday.